you should probably expect spoilers.
When it comes to the video games category, if there's one character from it that I'm expected to cover on this show, then it has to be this one. Who dat? It's NiGHTS. Chances are a huge percentage of you viewers might be wondering between all the Street Fighter reviews and porn jokes just how exactly is this whimsical purple jester of all things attached to the name DiGi Valentine. Well, before I became a YouTuber, I was in fact the co-admin for the fanbase surrounding Nights into Dreams. My girlfriend Trippy and I ran a website which acted as the central hub for all things Nights related, and a lot of the fans would filter in and out of there. Because of our roles in the community, we had gained close ties to Sega and Sonic Team directly, so chances are, if you had heard about Nights mentioned in the media over the last 10 years, then me and the wifey were probably involved in some shape or form. If you're interested to know more about my history, then I'll save all that for another time. To be honest, I just figured it's probably best to say right off the bat that for this episode, I'm heading back to something which is a little more personal to me than most other things. And also, it's the perfect time of year to review this character since NiGHTS is usually connected to the festive season due to the spin-off game, Christmas Nights into Dreams. So yeah, I did kinda time it on purpose. I am cashing in on Christmas, how shameful of me! Now, before we go any further with this episode, if you're already a fan of NiGHTS, then I want you to be cool, I want you to be chilled, I want you to sit down, be cool, relax, listen with an open mind, and not with your fists of rage, because throughout this episode, I will be referring to NiGHTS as a she. Calm down, calm down, calm down, calm down, no, calm down, calm. See, the thing about NiGHTS is the character was designed to specifically be whatever gender you saw the character as. So I want us to understand each other here. If you see NiGHTS as female, then you are correct. If you see NiGHTS as male, then you are correct. If you see NiGHTS as male and female, then you are correct. If you see NiGHTS as the flippin' Hubble Space Telescope, then guess what, bro? You are correct. Seriously, I've seen friendships break down over people arguing as to which definitive gender NiGHTS is meant to be, and the fact always remains as NiGHTS is whatever you see the character as. That way, everybody's a winner. So, with no drama intended, and for my own personal sake, I'm referring to NiGHTS as a she. And just who is she anyway? Well, NiGHTS comes from the world of dreams.
The world of dreams.
The world of dreams?
Yeah man, the world of dreams. The night dimension. Whatever you want to call it, she's from there. Now, as humans, you can only ever visit this area of dreamland if you are able to lucid dream. You arrive at Dreamgate, and if you're a truly strong lucid dreamer, you will possess something called Idia. These are 5 glowy orbs that represent different aspects about human qualities. Red for bravery, yellow for hope, green for growth, blue for intelligence, and white for purity. If you possess all 5 of these, then there's some good and bad news. The good news is you'll have a doorway open up at Dreamgate which grants you access to NiGHTopia. This is a place that is formed based on the thoughts from your own subconscious and is considered a personal paradise to lucid dreamers. The bad news is you'll have the bad guys chasing after your balls. Who are these bad guys? They are Nightmarens from the world of Nightmare. The creator of Nightmare himself, Lord Wiseman, seeks to rule over all of the night dimension, but due to not having any Idia, he cannot gain access to NiGHTopia. So you can see why he's sending out all his bad boys to come steal your Idia from you. And this is where NiGHTS comes in. See, NiGHTS along with her sibling Riala are the highest ranking Nightmaren amongst Wiseman's army, and Wiseman gave both of them free will when he created them. So it's no bloody surprise to anybody that NiGHTS would rather use that free will to say, actually, you know what, Dad? This whole takeover thing that you've got planned, yeah? Not really feeling it, so peace out, I'm off down the pub. While Riala is loyal, NiGHTS is a very disobedient creation, never listening to wise man's orders and just generally doing exactly as she pleases. This usually involves NiGHTS travelling to Dreamgate to meet new dreamers and hang out in their personal paradises should Nightopia appear for them. Sometimes these dreamers tend to come with a bit of baggage from the waking world in the sense that they're having a tough time and can't shake the worries out from their subconscious, which ends up affecting their dreamscapes. From Nights into Dreams we have Elia Edwards and Clarice Sinclair. From the latest game, Knight's Journey of Dreams, we have William Taylor and Helen Cartwright. All four of these kids are feeling different levels of guilt, embarrassment and loneliness. And to a Nightmarean, it gets no better than mugging a dreamer of their dream energy while they're already feeling like shit. Except Night, who due to her free will offers to make a deal with the dreamers in which she'll help them reclaim their dreams from the nightmares in exchange for helping her break free from the cages that Wise Man imprisons her in. The catch-22 in all of this is, for NiGHTS to eradicate the nightmares from a dreamer's subconscious, she will effectively have to destroy Wise Man too, and since Wise Man is the creator of Nightmare, to destroy him would mean to erase everything else he has created, including NiGHTS herself. So yeah, both games are basically suicide missions for NiGHTS right from the very start. However, there's an interesting flip on that catch-22 because to eradicate the nightmares from one human's mind doesn't mean all humans have been cleansed, and so as long as darkness exists within the hearts of other humans, Wise Man and his Nightmarean crew will always resurface, just in somebody else's subconscious. You know, this is some deep story shit for a game that's designed just to link points together in a flashy aerial acrobatic fashion. God, I miss the old Sonic team.
Visual design.
So, as I stated in the Valentine episode, purple is my second favourite colour behind green, and NiGHTS is honestly the reason for me appreciating purple as much as I do these days. It wasn't a colour I saw a lot of growing up as a kid, so when NiGHTS came along, seeing a purple character constantly on my screen was intriguing to me. I grew to like it so much in fact that I began wearing purple with the colour green and looked like the most confused gang member in your crew who didn't know what flag he was meant to be representing. To me, NiGHTS is what I like to consider as the perfect shade of purple. It has these dreamlike qualities to it that one might associate with dusk and the coming of the nighttime hours, perfectly suitable for a character called NiGHTS. It gives NiGHTS an inviting aura, all the while not telling you what it is you're being invited into. NiGHTS' 1996 appearance was a bit more simple in detail than her 2008 look, and it seems that the 2008 outfit now is considered the standard design since that's the one Sega keeps using, which is not technically a bad thing and I will focus on the new look for this episode, but I want to take this quick moment to say one thing I truly miss from the old outfit, and that is NiGHTS' neck ruffle. For a character that has no visible neck, you'd think a neck ruffle would feel pointless or misplaced, but it did the exact opposite. It was an item of clothing that connected the head to the body without the whole image ever feeling weird or broken. It was the perfect bridge between two parts without needing to give the character a neck. For the new outfit, they removed this part in favour of giving an extended collar to the red and pink waistcoat. Underneath the collar is a somewhat more realistically styled neck ruffle in what is probably the most horrid shade of copper you could have thrown on the character. Seriously, where on earth did this colour come from? They should have just made it white to match the gloves and sleeves, but no. Someone somewhere looked at this character and figured, you know what, yeah? 4 colours was not enough for NiGHTS already. Let's put some shades of dirty piss in there too. But that is as far as my distaste goes because everything else is handled rather well. The Jester hat is NiGHTS' most iconic visual design aspect, something that is akin to what spikes are to Sonic for example. When silhouetted, you know exactly who the character is thanks to this one thing, and I'm so glad that during their redesigns for NiGHTS they didn't touch this item at all. The additions of embroidery to the legs and arms are also a nice little touch that I feel brings a level of nobility and elegance that the old design didn't have. While the old outfit looked more like a typical jester in appearance, this Journey of Dreams design seems to promote NiGHTS to a circus ringleader or someone who directs the flow of the show rather than just merely being the act. It is a good fit for the character all things considered. I just wish they would have done something about that bloody neck ruffle. Then we have NiGHTS' biggest asset, and something which the character actually shares in common with Bayonetta.
It's purple, it's round, and it bounces up and down. Who that ass? It's NiGHTS' ass. Ass.
Before we leave this section, I want to quickly cover the topic about NiGHTS' gender again and why it's quite an important aspect to the character's overall design. Sonic Team wanted to create a character that could be accessible to whatever gender you identify yourself as. That's a pretty big element to want to incorporate into your little flying game, but it's one of the things that makes NiGHTS stand out so much more within this medium. NiGHTS has the ability to dualize with you, so the pair of you can become one being. Therefore, for NiGHTS to be one specific gender would completely defeat the accessibility of the character in this regard. NiGHTS takes the gender of whatever you decide, merely out of Sonic Team wanting you to feel that much more connected to the character they've created. God, I miss the old Sonic Team.
Personality.
To say NiGHTS is a happy-go-lucky kind of dream creature would be an understatement. Clearly from the outset you can see the character has a cheerful personality which is presented to us as a warm smile across her face. NiGHTS loves to have fun and she is at her happiest when she is doing fun things. That's the most obvious thing you could say about NiGHTS, but what a majority of people fail to take notice of is the underlying layer to NiGHTS' personality. What am I talking about? I'm talking about NiGHTS' nightmare traits.
You'd be surprised how often this aspect of NiGHTS gets overlooked. Just because she's helping the protagonists doesn't mean she's from the same cloth. In fact, NiGHTS is probably one of the most subtly greatest anti-heroes given to us in gaming. So subtle in fact that people tend to forget that she's actually meant to be a bad guy.
Okay, it doesn't mean NiGHTS does straight up evil things, like she won't fly down from the ceiling and shank Aerith or anything like that, but she's not exactly as clear cut as you'd think. And she is definitely not a goody two-shoes character either. She has free will and this allows her to choose for herself what she feels is right and wrong. The freedom of choice is a big factor to her personality. She chooses not to follow the nightmare way because she'd rather do things that please herself instead. This actually adds a layer of selfishness to her personality, and it's further explored by something Riala points out later on in Journey of Dreams.
Riala, you coward, let them go!
Coward? Moi? You're the puppet who can't do anything without borrowing power from visitors.
NiGHTS' power is boosted when she is dualized with a dreamer. She wants to do fun, adventurous things, and if a dreamer's power can heighten the amounts of fun she's having, then naturally she's going to try and convince a dreamer to dualize with her. NiGHTS offers them the wonders of flight in exchange for them lending her their dream energy while dualized. Again, NiGHTS invites you into something that you're not entirely sure what the whole deal entails. It's a selfish side to NiGHTS which is mostly present because she is a nightmare running around with free will. She wants to have her fun and she will gain it in sneaky ways if she has to. That being said, because of her free will, she can choose to help the dreamers, which she does do in both games. She essentially chooses to kill her dad and then herself, so, you know, that's a pretty big choice to make, and one that is actually selfless in its actions. Which is the point I'm trying to make here. NiGHTS is not like your regular hero. Upon meeting you and before she gets to know you, she'll offer you something in return for something. You ain't getting this good shit for free. That's her nightmare and heritage in her, using you for personal gain and enjoyment. But upon bonding with you, she will gladly defend you and save your life if she has to. Seriously, this was a pretty complex personality for a character designed to just fly around a colourful level in a video game. God, I miss the old Sonic team.
Importance.
NiGHTS is naturally the most important character to this series because, well, she's the main character. It's like the Sonic universe needing Sonic, or the Nintendo universe needing Mario. Though screw that guy, I'm all about that Luigi life, you get me? Since NiGHTS' importance to this series is cemented, I wanted to take this opportunity to do something a little different here for this section. Namely, I want to talk about how NiGHTS became an important character outside the realm of fiction. It's typical of a piece of media set around dreams to encourage people to chase their dreams, that goes without saying. It may be an overused cliche you see everywhere else, but here it feels more at home and warranted. NiGHTS became so infused with this dream chasing mentality that around our neck of the internet woods, NiGHTS became an icon. The character was a symbol to those of us out here trying to chase those crazy dreams, so call it corny if you must, but that's what the character did. Where did this enthusiasm for a fictional character like NiGHTS come from though? Sonic Team themselves. I've met Takashi Iizuka from Sonic Team a number of times now, and one time I did personally meet Yuji Naka too, and we spoke about this aspect of the character in more detail. It had been a part of their thought process going into the game's creation. NiGHTS is a character from the dream world, something which all of us can visit whenever we go to sleep. They set the series in the world of dreams because they wanted the fans to feel just that one step closer to the character. Iizuka even touches upon this aspect in a video interview, speaking upon the fact that he hopes gamers have the chance to meet knights for themselves when they go to sleep at night. He likes the thought of knights being able to break the boundaries of fiction and exist within the possibilities of reality, and this fascinates me. It was probably one of the things that drew me to knights the most. As a kid growing up, I wanted nothing more than to have all the video game characters I adored be real life people so I could hang out with them. I used to wish for that kind of thing a lot, and I'm sure I wasn't alone in that sense. I imagine a few of you probably had similar wishes yourselves. And here was Sonic Team, who had created a character with this very wish in mind so that if ever you needed to call upon it, you had an actual chance of it coming true. God, I missed the old Sonic Team.
Conclusion.
You wanna know a funny fact in all of this? When NiGHTS was first released, I didn't care for the character or the game. My friend tried to introduce me to it, but all I wanted to do was play Daytona USA and completely aired off NiGHTS on my first viewing. My cousin told me to give it a second try because it was from the same people who made the Sonic games, and apparently NiGHTS was just as good if not better. So I gave NiGHTS that second chance, and I'm very glad I did. There are so many fictional characters out there, all with different personalities and different levels of appeal, and NiGHTS is honestly unlike any other character I've ever seen. If you're only looking at NiGHTS on face value alone, then you're truly missing all the things that make the character so incredibly unique and quite frankly wonderful. Even Mario's creator himself, Mr. Shigeru Miyamoto, personally wishes he had been involved in the creation of NiGHTS. Just let that sink in for a second. I have a crazy collection of varied characters in my favourite collection, you can trust me on that, and in there sits NiGHTS. Usually people tend to look at me like, yo, why the hell is this character in there? So I made this video to hopefully tell them why. I'm not sure if I've succeeded in doing that or not, I guess that's up to you to decide. But I certainly know one thing from making this episode, and that is... God damn do I miss the old Sonic team.